And here we are on site, CHCD TV, Canada's Huggable Car Dealer, live from Fredericton, New Brunswick. And today, I am lucky, I am fortunate to have the legend himself, Wayne Jagoe here at CHCD University. We actually have a book in our self-help part of our university, of our library, and Wayne Jagoe wrote that book. What was the book, Jeff?
It's Eat This, 89 stories that will change the way you think about your business.
89 stories with the way you'll change
your business. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to move it into the business section.
Well, it was initially written for restaurateurs. And that's why the name Eat This. And it's observation of successful restaurants. So I was fortunate enough 4 years ago to visit close to 4,000 restaurants in southern Ontario when I had a company called DineAid, and I traveled all over Ontario. And it amazed me why some restaurants are busy and why some are slow, why some, even next door to each other, there's a lineup and some don't have a lineup. So why is that? So
why is that? I would like to know, wouldn't we?
Well, what I found out was that it really comes down to customer service. Really, you can have all different kinds of things, but you have to have, in the restaurant world, you have to have good food, you have to have good decor, attentive staff, all those different things, all the things you need, pricing and stuff like that. But you have to have something unique, and the uniqueness comes from customer service and doing things that the customers didn't expect all the time. But there's details that restaurateurs fret over, the best ones fret over. If a light bulb's burn out in a restaurant, they're fascinated and fixated on making sure that that's not burnt out. If the decor is a certain way, it has to maintain a decor. If the cutlery on the table is a certain way, they're fixated and make sure it's that way so that the customer has a consistent experience over and over again. So the foundation of all that comes back to providing a great customer experience.
So at Wheels and Deals, I always tell our people, you're doing everything for one person. Like, you want that yard clean, all the cars, 150 cars shiny, for that one customer. Is that
right?
More or less everything's for that one experience, for that one person.
Yes, and I actually, in the book I write, I was fortunate enough to serve Prince Andrew. And this was back when I was in school, not part of the DineAid experience. But the one thing was you had to do a psych review. They did physicals on you. They did all kinds of things. They did a police background check. They did everything. When they set up the room for the actual event at the Beaverbrook Art Gallery here in Fredericton, what they did was they had a guy, I'll never forget it, he went around the table in a magnifying glass, and he made sure that the plant in the middle of the table didn't have any bugs in it.
Really? No
bugs, yeah. And that's his job to make sure. And I said, well, I'm setting the table, and I said, why are you doing that with a magnifying glass? And he said, well, we can't have the prints have any come in contact with any bug. And I was like, well, what about anyone else? Can anybody else come in contact with a bug, right? And then I remember we brought soiled dishes, that they call it, dirty dishes. We cleaned off the table, and we took them out back. And when you put the plate down, you're supposed to wash your hands to pick up the next plate. Well, in every restaurant, nobody really does that. That's not a policy. Department of Health in New Brunswick, you go, you drop plate off, you pick up a dirty glass, you drop it off at the bar. You don't wash your hands in between. But I thought it was funny. Why are all these rules for him, right? The cutlery that he had to be different than everybody else. So to your point about if you're serving somebody, shouldn't everybody be served the exact same way? Should they? You're absolutely correct. The thing is that with Prince Andrew, that was over the top. That's not a normal thing. So whatever your standard is, right? For me to come across somebody like that broke all the standards that I thought was acceptable to serve people the way we thought, the way you would serve a customer and wow them and do stuff like that. If somebody else walked in and you did something really different to them, then that's not fair to the 99.9% of everybody else. Why are they so different? So you have to treat everybody the same, and sometimes it's not always easy, but that's what you got to do.
Well, you got to treat everybody the same, but also special.
Yes.
Because everybody is different, so you got to treat everybody. Everybody has to have the great experience. You got to make sure everybody has a great experience.
A great experience,
Different little parts of it would adjust.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I read your book, but it was 4 or 5 years ago.
It's a while ago.
And in your book, I think there was that part. I'll think of it in a second. There, some of the stuff you're talking about, though, like I do remember. It's quite a good book.
There's a lot of different things.
So is it still for sale around?
Yeah, it's on Amazon.com. You can buy it on eatthis.ca. Gumroad.com, you can get it there. There's different places you can buy it. You can go to my website, WayneJagoe.com, and you can buy the book there.
WayneJagoe.com, you can buy that book, Eat This, Not That. I got about 10 copies up there. But there was a lot of good, interesting things. Now we're going to take the last minute or so. Wayne, you're an entrepreneur. You're the businessman's businessman. You see stuff, you go out and you get it. You say, I'm going to make this and we're going to make it work. So you involve yourself in a lot of good things. You've taught yourself. Well, you're all self-taught. You're a self-made, self-taught man, which really is amazing, because what you see is what you are, and what you get is what I can give you, and that's really good. And you got a new business on the website, new for a while, and it's
Anacity,
the On Agency.
The On Agency. What's happened is over years, the guys like you focus, and you do one thing really, really well. And I have a hard time with that, because I'm distracted by so many opportunities. And I think as I get older and, you have trials and tribulations, you kind of pull back and you're looking to find what is your niche. I talk to you a lot about that. What is it that's your core? What is it, you want to be, kind of thing. And I think for me, when I looked at Anacity, the An Agency, we were getting pulled everywhere as an agency. Do you want to do print? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And we said, no, we just want to focus on some core components for our clients, managing databases, some websites, some email marketing, those type of things. But that's the core of what we do, and that's why Anacity An Agency, it's about energy and tenacity rolled into one.
That's a pretty good name. So you got your clients, and you're going to focus on them. You're going to make sure they get the best experience there was, right, and then just grow right from the core. So, and you're in Fredericton. You have an office in
Vancouver. We have one gentleman who's been with me quite a while, Devin, who's in Vancouver, and then we have 2 other people here. So it's a core of 4 people.
So you got a core of 4 people.
Our clients are all over North America, the U.S. Probably 80 to 90% of our clients are located in the U.S. Not a lot of people know that. We have maybe a dozen clients here in Fredericton.
Now we all know that 80% of Wayne's clients in the U.S. Well, that's good.
That is good, yeah.
And the U.S.
exchange rate's really good. Yeah,
it's good for you. All right, well, without further ado, is there anything, you got 30 seconds to tell the world about Wayne Jagoe. Is there anything you want to tell our fans out there, your fans, our fans?
Well, I don't think there's you can find out, Google me, whatever you want to find out. But I think that it's funny, I always joke, I'm a triple ADHD guy. Lots of energy and whatever, but as I get older, I think that physically you've got to slow down. Your body can't keep going. Your mind is still quite crazy and active and all that stuff. But I think that you try, when you get to be a certain age, to try to focus on certain things, and that's I think what I look at as stages in life of what do you do, and different things. I read a book, I do this, I do all that stuff, and then. But for me, I think, Wayne, about me is to focus on servicing the customer the way you do. Service them great.
We got to remember, something's real important. Life is a journey. We all know the destination, so don't race for it tomorrow. That's my advice to everybody. Enjoy the journey. It's just a trip. And anytime you're out there and you're upset about anything, I'm going to give you some advice. Say, does it really matter in 30 days? And if it does, say, does it really matter in 6 months? And if it does, say, does it really matter in 2 years? Get yourself out there far enough that life is beautiful. We're lucky to have life. So, signing out, Wayne Jagoe, Jim Gilbert, CHCD TV, Canada's Huggable Car Dealer.